Let's look at the assessment criteria one by one and explain what each category means. So first of all, task fulfillment. This basically means whether the assignment answers the question or the assignment brief by providing ideas that are relevant, fully developed and clearly presented. The organization criterion refers not only to the overall organization of the assignment, but also the organization of each section and even individual paragraphs. Certain assignment types have a prescribed structure. So for example, situation, problem, response and evaluation for certain types of essay, the so-called problem-solution essay, or the introduction, literature review, methods, findings, discussion and conclusion for a research paper. Within each section, the ideas have to flow, have to be linked to each other. This criterion, therefore, is concerned with cohesion, the linking, the ordering of the ideas, and within and between the paragraphs. And also signposting, which creates a sense of progression in the assignment. It also looks into topic sentences and concluding statements of individual paragraphs and sections. Since we are talking about academic assignments, the use of sources is an important criterion, and this is something that many students may be new to because references to sources are not required, for example, in IELTS written tasks. What we are looking for here is the student's ability to use source texts to support and develop their ideas. The ideas from the sources can be integrated in form of direct quotations, but preferably paraphrases and summaries. We want to see if the student is able to use references flexibly, so for example whether he or she is able to distinguish when an author prominent reference is more appropriate than an information prominent reference. We also look at the use of reporting verbs such as argue, claim, suggest, and so on, to see how the student uses them to negotiate their own stance toward the idea from the source. Lastly, we evaluate the ability to follow certain referencing conventions. On the pre-sessional course, we recommend that the students use the Harvard referencing system. This means certain information like the author's name, date of the publication and sometimes the page number have to be provided in an in-text citation, while at the end of the assignment there has to be a list of final references in alphabetical order which precisely follows the Harvard referencing convention. Since the pre-sessional course is also concerned with the development of language skills, we look at the use of language, both in terms of accuracy and range. The former refers to correct use of grammar and vocabulary, while the latter to the use of various sentence structures and phrases. Lastly, we look at academic style, which means using more formal language, certain grammar features like passive voice, noun phrases, as well as expressing the ideas in a more objective way, using hedging, avoiding strong assertions, emotional or vague language. When it comes to grading the student's work on a pre-sessional course, the student is given the following grades for each of their criteria: strong, satisfactory and needs work. Strong means that the student can write at some length on a range of topics, including more abstract ones, that the writing is easy to follow and has a positive effect on the reader. The task is clearly achieved, even though there may be some omissions, for example, some ideas might not be fully developed. In general, though, the ideas, including more complex ones, are expressed clearly and in appropriate style. There may be some limitations due to language problems, but they do not affect communication. This is the grade that demonstrates that the student is progressing well and is ready to undertake the postgraduate study. Satisfactory refers to the ability to write clearly on general and familiar topics. This means the more abstract or more complex the topic is, the less clear the writing may become. There may be more language-related errors, but still without major negative impact on communication. The last category, needs work, is given to students or to written work that generally fulfills the task but there are noticeable problems in communicating ideas effectively on less familiar topics. This means a lot of work is needed in order to progress to the next level.